Hey y'all, we're live. It's always amazing when the technology actually works. You guys, I'm here live. We've got Damon Oates with Deco Exchange. I'm sure a lot of you already know him by now. And then we've also got Christine Jerry. She is with the Virtual Collab. I want to introduce you to her. So Damon is owner of Deco Exchange, and he's got a wreath. He does it all, y'all. He's got all the things. Wreath making, wreath school, design school. He teaches, he coaches small businesses and handmade businesses. He sells wreath supplies. If y'all are looking for some good ribbon, he can hook you up. I mean, he does really all the things. He's got a huge corporation going on. And then Christine has been working with small businesses, helping them find help, like help with creating blog posts, help with website design, help with graphic design. And so she has been helping small businesses for years now, right? You said like what, 10 or 12 years now? So she's got a lot of experience under her belt, and y'all, they are teaming up together and they are doing some amazing things, helping small businesses create websites. And when I heard what they were doing, I knew I had to introduce you guys to them and let them talk about what they're partnering together to do, because so many of you have reached out to me and said, how do I create a website? I need help creating a website. What is all the things about a website? So I'm just going to sort of like fade out in the background and let them do all the talking. And then I'll monitor any questions. Keep your questions coming. So let me go ahead and figure out how to do this. So go ahead, Damon and Chris, you go for it.
I'm on mute, so I'm not even.
You're muted.
I know. That's
yeah. So y'all, a little bit of backstory. Chris designed this amazing website and she showed it to me, and I'm like, how do I bring that to creatives in a form where they can afford it? So we came up with this idea to host a 7-day challenge that would allow people to build their own site with our guidance. So Christine, one of the things that we hear all the time is, how does a website help a creative business owner?
Yes. And when I first started working with Damon and Parker over at Deco Exchange, that was the number one question for them. Like, what's the point? Like, I know we need a blog, but why do we need a blog? And I said, there's a whole lot of people you're not reaching because you're not harnessing the power of organic traffic, which your website does. Organic traffic is basically all the strangers who are interested in the same topic or your niche that haven't found you yet. And we want
Explain what you mean when you say organic traffic, because that is very confusing to people who are really new.
Yes. So organic traffic is traffic you do not pay for. It's natural. It's organic. So they find you naturally from your Pinterest pins, or they do a search on how to make a grapevine wreath, and that's how they discover you. You didn't have to pay for that. You just use the right words on your website. The other thing with developing a website is you build authority. So before we even get to that whole authority part, like, how many times do you find out about a company? What is the first thing you normally do? You check out their website, see if they're credible. You want to make sure, can you find any reviews on them? And that's why it's so important that the first thing that pops up when they look for you is you. You want it to be the information that you want about you, not what everybody else says about you. So having your own website allows you to do that. And so making sure that you have where to find you, what you offer, what niche you're in, or, what is it? What do you want to be known for in your business? It's your choice when you have your own business, because it's your website. You get to choose what content goes on there. So those are the main reasons, and no one can take it away from you. That's the biggest thing. Etsy, right? Like, what are the biggest fears, Damon, in this world?
Right? Is that your Facebook page gets hacked or your Etsy account gets shut down. You've done all that work to build up your platforms, and then it's just taken away.
And we don't want that, like, for any of you. So definitely having your own website, you always have a backup. And so that way, if something happens, you can always just throw that back right up onto your site, and you're still up and running, and it's yours. No one can tell you what you can and cannot put on there.
And I like that it's your platform to put whatever you want on there, but you can also use it to cultivate your audience, your customers. You can, get to know them better, communicate with them. You can have them join your mailing list. And that's sort of how I've been using my website is I do blog on it. So that's an additional revenue stream for my small business, which is a very important part. But more importantly, I'm able to get my message out to the world through my website. And as people come and find me on my website, they can join my mailing list. There was one time where something went wrong with my Facebook, and we hear a lot of people where their Facebook page just go down, or like she said, Etsy or something might go down for you on one place. But just knowing that I had my audience on my email, I was able to still communicate with everybody who wanted to hear from me and keep the communication going. It was just a very small thing that happened versus putting all my eggs in Facebook or Etsy or something like that. And if it goes down, you really are in panic mode. So that's another way I use my website.
Yes, definitely. Like, you don't want to have to depend on everybody else to do the things for you. But at the same time, it is. There's nothing like that feeling of ownership. And this is yours. Like 100% your content, 100% your property in the virtual real estate world.
So Christine, what tips do you have for people that want to have a blog or a website?
So the first thing is, and it has nothing to do with the website itself, first thing is knowing what your brand is all about. So I got to do a training yesterday in, Julie's private business coaching group, and it was all about branding. So understanding what you want the Google to kind of frame you as. Are you home decor? Are you a DIYer? It expands your opportunity to go beyond what your product does and getting that out into the search realm, like Google, Pinterest, any of those, Yahoo. But number one, knowing your brand so that everybody else knows what your brand is about. So that way it's so much easier to create content. And when I mean create content, I mean write blog posts, make social media posts. As long as it fits in what you've defined your brand is, there's no question, should that go out? Should that not go out?
So y'all, whenever we met first met Christine, she was very confused about our brand because we talk about dogs and we have this wreath making, we have this other stuff. And she's like, you got to pick one. I'm like, no, that's my message, So it was ability for me to say, this is what I care about, and this is what I represent, and this is what the people that I'm going to attract are going to know me for. So it allowed me to write the message that I wanted people to know.
Yes. And we were able to kind of extract everything that he was passionate about and put it in the proper places. So now this website focuses on his love for dogs and rescuing. This site so it helps you define what each site is for, right? Because you want your audience to know you don't want to attract this audience and bring them to the wrong place. So definitely it allows you to create different locations to help your audience really get to know you and what you love.
I like that it's a central location for you. It's sort of your hub.
It is.
Like, you can be on all the social media, YouTube and Facebook and Pinterest and all the other ones that I can't even mention. Oh, I just did a TikTok video today that's going semi-viral, so there too. But it's a great place just to bring out all of the people that you're gathering your audience around, your community, back to one central location that you actually own. So I like to use it that way too.
And in the long term, it's part of your revenue stream, because at some point it grows with you. So not only do you now have a place, maybe you're going to sell directly from your site. You started with Etsy. Now you want a place where you can add other products maybe that are exclusive to your website. And then there's an ad revenue. There's about 9 different ways you can monetize your website and majority of them are passive income, which means it's going to make you money without you actively having to work on it. So there's ad networks that place ads on your website. There's also affiliate links where you get a commission off of something that you sell from another company. So there's a number of ways to earn income and you not having to work like 9 different ways all the time.
Do you have that list of 9 handy by chance?
I do not.
Okay.
For the 5?
Yeah.
So off the top of my head, for me, it's the ads, the affiliate, the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of any other way that
digital products that you can create,
and then tangible products.
Yes, and I mean, you would think I'd know all 9 off the top of my head because I like claim to 9, but there's also like you said, sponsorships, but there's also different variations of sponsorships. So it might just be write a blog post, or it might be, oh, because you have such a great following, but we've seen your website, it's well designed. Can we do one post on your social media account for $500? I mean,
right. I just got one today, actually. Somebody wanted me to sponsor their water bottle to keep it in videos that I do. So it does. It's legit. This does work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are all the ways that I use my website now. Yep.
Christine, someone asked, what's the difference between a WordPress website and Wix?
So Wix is a visual builder. It's a good startup, but long term you're going to have a hard time monetizing it. Like when we spoke about sponsorship and ad revenue and affiliate links, because WordPress, that platform, is the gold standard of this industry. The White House uses a WordPress website. It's security levels. It's the way that
I use WordPress.
Yes, that's the gold. See, it's if Julie uses it, then we know it's got to be. Never mind the White House.
Yeah, right.
But it's the expectation that other brands have that we house our website on. But going closer to Wix, I believe Wix, if you ever plan on blogging or if you start a blog on Wix, they actually start a campaign to compare themselves to WordPress, but they've locked out the feature to take out your content from Wix and transfer it over to WordPress. You actually have to manually copy and paste. There's no easy way to transfer it over. So if you're going to blog or you're going to add content later on, whether it's video tutorials, what have you, just start on WordPress because it'll be a pain in the bottom to get that moved over.
So I actually just Googled real quick, and the cost of having a Wix website monthly is now more expensive than WordPress.
And that's a good point because WordPress. So one of the questions I get a lot, what's the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org? WordPress.com is similar to Wix, where it's being hosted at WordPress.com. That's the place that holds your website. I'm trying to stay in the frame here. But WordPress.org is a library of apps and software and whatnot. You actually never go to WordPress.org to build a site. You go to a hosting company. They're the place that holds your website's information. They're your database holder. You go there. They install WordPress, the platform for you. And we're going to show you how to do that in the course. But that you actually never have to go anywhere. WordPress.org or WordPress.com to set up your site. WordPress.com you don't own. WordPress.com owns that website. So when you're first starting out your website, definitely go through your host and get them to install WordPress for you.
So what do they need to get started? Like, if they're going to take the course and go through what is it, like 5 easy steps? It's a week course, but they have access to it if they can't make it during the week, right? During the actual training and stuff. They can always rewatch it later, right? After the week is over. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then what do they need, like, to get started? There's a few things they're going to need, I assume, like a domain name, and what else?
Yes, so they're going to have to register a domain name, which is the URL. So like, for instance, Julie's is southerncharmwreaths.com, right? So that would be what you're going to register. And then that usually ranges from anywhere between $5 to $15 for the whole year to own. Then you need hosting. We work with Big Scoots, and they have a great plan, perfect for the starting size, and it ranges from $7.95, I think, up to $10.95. It just depends what plan you choose.
So are you saying $7.95, or are you saying $795?
Oh, $7. Thank you. $7.95 at, up to $10.95 per month. I think
the hosting. So the hosting is what exactly?
It's the place that holds your database for your website. So they keep it up and running and makes it available on the internet. If we were to try and do that at our house, we would have like really large computers, like drives behind us. So instead of every house that has a website having their own server base like that, you have a hosting company that takes care of that for you.
So they would hold all of the photos, all of the copy, all of anything that we put on the website. Yep. That's where it all is.
Yep, that's where it all is.
Leave that host and go to some other host. We're able to capture all of it and then just transfer it to another host.
Yes, and that's why it's yours. You own that information. So at the end of the day, you want to move to a different host, you get that backup, you move it over.
Okay. Those are the only 2 things they're going to need?
Yes.
Okay. So I know when people go with a website, there's a theme. Everybody wants you to install a theme. And Chris, there is like a bazillion things out there. It would take hours, not hours, it would actually take months to go through all of the different themes and try to find one that's actually, a good starter theme for, a beginner website. And what are you guys doing with that?
So the cost of the workshop actually includes the theme that I built specifically for, creative business owners. We kept what you would use it in mind when we created it so that it would still work. Like if you still have your Etsy shop, we have I'm gonna share my screen real quick so you can actually see it. So right here is the theme that we created. You'll have your logo up here. We're gonna want everything I talk to you about right now is customizable, and we will show you during the workshop how to change. So when you click shop on your site, it takes you right over to your Etsy store. So if you have a visitor that wants to go shopping because they see all your cool product photos, it takes them right over to your Etsy store right then and there. We've mapped it out so you know exactly what goes where based on my just what I've learned over the years, what works best in what area on a homepage of a website. So you want to really feature what your products are all about. We let you know this is where you add your email opt-in. So if you're using MailerLite, any email service provider that you're using to attract your customer and build a newsletter or email list, we can add that right in here. Then you have your featured products. And when you click browse, again, it takes them over to, you can takes them over to your category to Etsy. So let's say you have a swag category on Etsy. We're going to get that link for that category and put it right in here. And then talk about yourself. Little hard to do. It's the hardest page everybody has to work with because nobody likes to talk about themselves. But you want you to represent your brand, right? You want you to tell the world what you want them to know, not somebody else. There's actually a hidden page. Let me see if I can put.
And just to tap in on that, the theme thing that's a big money saver for anyone who joins the course because themes are expensive.
When I was doing custom builds, a custom build like this would have been $2,500 for me to custom build this way. But seeing Julie and Damon in the community that they are, it made me realize that there's so many people who need this, but they don't have access to it because not everybody needs a custom built website. And so knowing their hearts and what they want to do for their communities, it just made the most sense. And Damon kind of dropped that idea and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Because I mean, I can only imagine how your perception of your business changes when you're like, I have a site, I'm a real business, even though that's not true. You own a business. But sometimes when you have this extra step, this extra piece of property, it changes that mentality. You're like, it's real. So I hid a couple of bonuses where you have an Instagram landing page. So if you have an Instagram profile, now you have that link that you can share on your bio so people can find all the things from there. So there's that. And let's go back to the actual theme.
So Terry's asking, she's got Google and she's got WordPress installed, but does she need a theme too?
Nope. This is the theme. You'll get the theme, the file. We're going to walk you through how to upload that file properly. And as soon as you upload it, we hit 3 buttons and boom, this theme is right there. It looks exactly like this. Then we walk you through on a next session how to start customizing this. If you don't have your own brand colors yet, Damon had this amazing idea to make sure that we provided at least a few options. So I built it in a way that all you need to do is touch a button and it changes the theme colors. So if you like pinks, you want blues, or you want a more neutral palette, you just click a button. We've changed the whole property look altogether.
Can you customize and do your own?
You absolutely can.
Your own brand?
So if you have your own palette already, or like you have your brand colors, you're just going to click the dots and change it right there. So everything's really quick and easy. I wanted to make sure there would be no reason for you to say, I'm tech challenged, because we are going to walk every little bit in piece. So by the end of the workshop, I want you to say, like, I built a website all by myself, like you did.
And one of your bonuses, isn't it the branding kit that you're giving them, so that it walks them through the process of finding their own color palette, creating their own logo, so that they're ready to go as soon as they start the website build. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Oh, this is a lot of information.
We even have a whole workbook that walks you through how to write that About Me section, what photos you need for your website. We have Canva templates that allow you to pull in photos and automatically resizes them for the hero image. So we've tried to make it as simple as possible so that our audience, who we know is a little bit scared of technology, can get through and build their own website.
Okay. Just a couple of questions. Thank you for partnering together is what some people are saying. Do you need a webcam to do the course?
No, not at all. You're just going to watch our live video, or not live videos, but live stream. And as we walk you through it, so I'll be sharing my screen as I do all of the different changes. I would suggest, just if you get stuck on an area, just revisit the replay so you can press pause, because sometimes maybe Chris talks too fast. I'm from Hawaii. I have two things against me. I have a tendency to mumble, and sometimes apparently I have a accent, so I say certain words funny. So always watch your replay. I'm sure you get it the second time around.
Can they add on in the future? If this is where they start, can they grow with this website and add more later?
Yes, I think that's what makes WordPress and having your own site most amazing is when you're ready to turn this into an e-commerce business, like an online business where you can sell things from. You just add a plugin and then you just put in your information and boom, you've turned that into an e-commerce website. So it scales with you as you grow in your business.
So we have the link. I've posted the link on YouTube, and I've also posted the link. It's pinned under the comments. Somebody was asking where to sign up. So we'll also make sure you guys have the link. It's in the description of this video too, of this post, where to go sign up. If they already have GoDaddy as their host, is that okay? Somebody asked that.
If you already have a hosting company, that's perfectly fine. You'll follow the same steps to get everything set up. Your screen it will likely look different than mine during the walkthrough, but then the name of the places you need to go to are the same. So we'll do our best to make sure we keep you up to date.
Do you need a desktop computer to do the course?
Desktop or laptop, but you're definitely not going to do it from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would this be beneficial for anyone not in the wreath business?
Yes. So I know the photos, they're predominantly wreaths, but they're all replaceable. So I made this so it's as flexible as possible. You're going to click some things, put in your own photos, and that way it's a different, how do I, I'm going to tell you, it's amazing how a template, when you add your own photos, your own colors, I'm going to show you how to like change out the font with the preloaded fonts I have in there, how much it turns a generic theme into a really customized looking theme, something that looks like it costs you a lot of money to build, but really it's just the cost of the workshop and your hosting and your domain registration.
Yeah.
Dana asked, what is the name of the hosting service? We are going to be walking through using Big Scoots, like scoots your bottom.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if there were any other questions. Are there different instructions for a Mac user?
There shouldn't be, because we're working within the website's platform, and that's not computer specific.
Okay, and then also Una wants to know. Una is really good with her reads. I mean, they are really good. Would y'all have instructions or help for people who want to convert from Wix?
So she bought a website but never built it.
So how do I change?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll have to move her domain.
Yeah.
Okay. Is all that going to be explained? Like help with that if she needed help? Like how?
I will be showing how to change your domain. So if your domain is bought through GoDaddy or something similar, I'll walk you through the places you need to look in your program or in your hosting, your domain registration company, where to fix that.
I'm just posting the link because I see some people are asking. Let's see. Did y'all see any other questions?
Sharon asked about a logo. Yes, Sharon, you can upload your own logo and your own product images and images you want to use for the site.
Okay. So it's just been when I first started, y'all, I don't even think the WordPress was a thing. WordPress was not even a thing then. It was a lot of coding. WordPress was just starting out when I first started, and it was hard learning on your own. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, literally staying up until the wee hours of the night, because that's when the kids were actually asleep and it was quiet and you could think. But you had to learn how to code, like write like all these, long formulas to get things just to actually center on the page. It was crazy the amount of research that you have to do just to upload a photo and center it. And now, like, when WordPress came along and it made it a little bit easier, but it's still, if you're new, it is a little intimidating because it can do a lot of things. It can do way more than what you actually need it to do. You just need a few things inside of the program. And so what they're going to do is they're going to walk you through step by step and introduce you only to the things that you need. And then with their bonuses, to me, I mean, you've got the whole blogging.
Oh, yes.
I want that.
I forgot to talk about that, didn't I? Okay, so my passion is blogging and how it grows traffic and sales. And I didn't hide it very well. It's in there. It's you have my template for the perfect blog post. It's how I've trained every single one of our content writing team members on how to write the perfect blog post, and that's already in there. So anytime you write a new blog post, you just fill in the blanks and you're good. And you even have the templates to put where I put pin image here. So it's all inclusive on the things.
Yeah. Julie, can you share my screen for a second?
Yeah.
So we actually added one more bonus today. And it's basically templates for Pinterest. So you can take your blog posts and plug them right into these templates. We've got 20 of them, and they're ready to be pinned all over Pinterest, your Facebook posts, whatever you want. You basically just quickly update these to your brand colors, change to your Pinterest or your blog post titles, and share them out there. So we've got a ton of these made.
That's awesome. Just plug and play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I always like to think about the website is it's kind of like it's your business card, basically. So let's say you meet someone in Hobby Lobby. Do you really want to sit there and say, hey, you know what? You can find me online. Just go to Etsy and type in my business name. Right? So if you do that, like, what else pops up? Etsy. I go search Deco Exchange. Y'all, on this first page, 3 of these photos are mine. Right? So what I like to do whenever I was first starting out is I gave people my website link to go to. And then when they got there, there was a big button they could press that brought them directly where they needed to go to shop just with me. They could go there and click a button and go straight to my Facebook page. There were ways to kind of control where that traffic went without losing them in the process.
And I think that's the biggest part. I mean, just you have one simple URL that rules them all. Like, is WordPress? No, it's not. You can have a simple one-page. Well, I'm going to be honest. You can't have a one-page website. Any website you own does need policies, but there's the other bonus that we've already included the templates for the required policies your website needs to be FTC compliant. So you're just going to fill in the blanks where it's highlighted to make sure your business information is in there. So you don't have to go searching around in the interwebs for a template yourself. It's already pre-built, pre-installed. You just have to add your own information, but you can just have just your, your homepage, your policies, where else, what other social media platforms you're on. And that could be your website. And that's all you need.
Let's see. So setting up a domain. So what, Debbie, what we did when we went through our book club review, when we reviewed our book for the book club in the group, I did walk through that in that video, how to capture your own and buy your own domain. But I'm sure they're going to have all of this
Yes.
in the course, like how to do all of that. And for those of you who are like overwhelmed and you don't know what the heck we're talking about, don't worry. Okay, we've been there. We know exactly how you feel. We're talking about creating a website for your handmade business. Maybe you're not there. Maybe you don't want that yet, and that's absolutely fine. But a lot of people do want that, and they just don't know where to start. And for me, this is a huge benefit to those people who want that. Again, I didn't have that. Damon, when he started, didn't have that. So a lot of people, we just didn't have it. And this is an answer for that. And when we go look for people to help our people, like, I don't know about Damon, but I've been looking for everyone to, hey, so many people want a website. Can you help them? Can you help them? Yeah, it's going to be $5,000. And I'm like, well, nobody's going to pay that because they're just starting. They don't have that money yet. And so this has just been a really good answer. And I am very, very proud to share it with you guys.
Yeah, so what we have it broke down is the class is $225, and that basically covers your theme and the 7 days of training. Your URL, if you don't have one yet, could cost you anywhere from 99 cents to $30, depending on how long you purchase it for. And then you have the monthly hosting. We do have a coupon code for 90% off your first month. So your first month of hosting may be about $1. And then it's anywhere between $8.95 and $10.95 a month reoccurringly after that. So compared to going out and spending $1,500 to $5,000 for a website, we are now looking at spending $225 with a $10 or $11 reoccurring charge. So it's huge savings.
If you click the link I gave you and head over, you can see everything that they're going to give you, what you're going to cover, when is it going to start, all of the things that you're going to get, any of the bonuses, all of that's there. So, you know, a lot of the information is there for you guys.
One of the things I had the hardest time with my business just recently is truly sharing the value and of my time. And so this was one of those opportunities where I get to do a little bit, learn how to share. But offering a course at $225 is like a great price, because I can be honest, if you were to hire me outside of this, it, you know, blog coaching itself is $9.97 a month. So, and building a website. So like the course itself, I love the price that we were able to work out just to make it possible. Because I know in the big picture, Damon, Julie, a lot of the leaders in this community, they just want to make sure you're up and running and pointed in the right direction. And it's not about the profit. It's about where they can get you started and what roadblocks can they remove. And if I get to be a part of that in any way, for me, that's a huge win, because this is such a heart-based community that I hope if this is your time to start building that site, like, please take advantage of it, because it's wonderful. I don't get to do it very often, and I love it. I enjoy being able to do these things.
So the class starts on Monday, so I would sign up before Monday for sure. You know, the other thing that's kind of important to say here is, you know, we all three personally know 3 people just in the last 30 days who lost their business because it was hacked. You know, Betty lost her Facebook page, Katie lost her Facebook page, Scott was locked out for months. And those are people who actually have an influence and the ability to get help when needed, and they couldn't get any help. So I would hate to think about someone who's just starting out and how defeated they would feel if all of a sudden everything was just swiped out from underneath them. So that was our big push, to get the website done and get people in a position where they could start building their own business and not, you know, just building up social media accounts.
Damon, you want to take this question from Hope?
I'm at the beginning, still need to get my business license and set up Etsy. Should I proceed with this class even though I'm at ground zero? I
think that's Hope. That's the only, you have the answer for that.
Yeah.
you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
How bad do you want to start a business and get established? And you don't have to have a business license or Etsy set up to have your own website. Many people don't have that. So you don't need that. But again, that's a question for you, is how determined are you to get a business established for 2021? We really can't help with that question.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Terry asked if the class was going to be interactive. So it is. We're going to be live in there every day at 5:30 Central Standard Time, delivering the content, answering your questions, walking you through it. And then Saturday morning, we'll be live doing some stuff with you guys. And then Sunday afternoon. So we're trying to make it where you can catch it every single day. The way that we have set up, it should not take you longer than maybe 30 minutes every afternoon to take the next step in building your website. I'm like, what is going on down there?
It's just a matter of time before my dogs start barking. So again, only you guys know if you're ready for this. If you have not established yourself as a business, or you're like, I don't know if I want to be a business, it's kind of a hobby, maybe it's going to be a business, maybe it's time for you to wait. I don't ever want to push anything you're not ready for. But there are tons of people asking me all the time, how do I get started with the website? I want to start blogging. I don't know what to do next. How do I start that? Some people are ready for that. And those are who we want to make sure they don't miss out on this huge opportunity for them.
Yeah. And another thing, if you are creating any type of content at all, if you're making YouTube videos or Facebook videos, please get a website. Because if you're just creating, y'all, if I lost Deco Exchange today, I would lose years of videos that are not on our blog yet.
You mean if you lost, like Facebook, if your Facebook went down?
Yeah.
Yes, always save those videos.
There's 5 years of videos, and only the last year has been converted to blog posts yet.
Will we be able to watch the replay if they can't do lives?
Yes.
Or attend live? Okay. Janice says she's going to be signing up tomorrow. How long do we have availability to the course?
It'll be theirs. Yeah, we don't revoke your access or anything like that, Jean.
Angela, the deadline is they're starting on Monday. So if you want to start the ground running, I would say get signed up by Monday. Let's see. Somebody's asking about a business name. If they don't have a business name yet.
Yeah. Go ahead, Damon.
So we do have a little exercise that helps you go through and verify that no one else has the business name that you want. But I would just stop making excuses. That's the worst part, right? Like, it's just your last name and whatever you sell. Like, Walmart doesn't sell walls. No one cares.
I know. Well, I know they care. I mean, because I've been there. I remember what it felt like you wanted everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be. You can change anything. You can change your logo. You can change your name. You can change your font colors. You can change all of it. So I think that's what he means with, don't procrastinate anymore. Just go, because everything could be changed.
Very, very true.
Like, you don't want to stop your whole business. Or what happens if you miss out on a whole nother year of sales just because you couldn't decide what your name was going to be?
Do y'all have a monthly payment plan, or is it just a one-time?
It's just a one-time since the class is next week.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not a recurring revenue. It's not a recurring subscription, y'all. It's just a one-time price.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see before we wrap it up if there's any other questions.
There was a computer question. Is there any specific computer requirements, specifications to accommodate these? They're not heavy downloads at all. The actual theme, it sounds like it'd be ginormous, but it is compressed so that it's the smallest it can possibly be. and it doesn't decompress or open until you put it in your website. So you should be okay.
Okay.
And I think it's important to know, like, we're going to be both of us are going to be building a website along with the class every single day. So we'll be following the exact same steps they are to do websites with them.
Oh, well, I'm taking the class because I want that blogging template. I want that. Y'all, Chris is just a brilliant when she's, oh, and if y'all have not taken a course with Chris or had her teach you or coach you, she is brilliant because she goes very slow and very detailed so that you will grasp what she's saying. And she's really good about answering all of the questions. She's been in my group teaching this past month, and it's just, I love it.
Thank you.
Did y'all see anything else?
I don't think so. Can you join later? We don't know how it's going to be sold again in the future right now, what that's going to look like. So I'm not going to say yes and make a broken promise potentially. Like right. we have to go through it once and see how it goes.
Okay. Well, y'all, go ahead.
Oh, it says, how does this compare to the website? Oh, where'd it go? Website builder on domain.com. I'm not familiar with domain.com, but most ones that you build a website on anything.com, you're building it using their servers and they're providing your domain name. So you don't own the content. And the whole goal of having a website is it's something that you own.
And you won't be able to monetize it later. Right. You won't be able to run ads. So if y'all go to southerncharmreads.com, you're going to see ads. Well, those ads help pay for the website. So you won't be able to do that if you go to anything that has the .com. You want it to be your business name .com. Nothing in front of it and nothing after it.
Right.
So Christine, why is it also a bad idea for them to purchase their domain on the same place they're trying to build their website?
So I always suggest separate. So register your domain at GoDaddy, have the hosting somewhere else, because no matter how great a hosting company is, at some point they're going to have a server issue. I don't care which hosting company you're with. It just happens. And there's two ways it goes down, whether it's their own servers or their cloud-based servers that they're trying to push information through you. I know we're going a little high in as far as technical stuff, but when that happens, if it's going to be longer than 15 minutes and that's going to cost my client tens and thousands of dollars, I have a backup place where I can reroute that domain. So I keep the domain on a different server so that if the hosting server goes down, my domain is still active. I can still access it and point it to Etsy. I can point it to somewhere else until that hosting server where my website is back up. So never want anybody to lose money just because the hosting goes down. Let's always have a backup plan so that you're still up and running no matter what.
Okay. So Trudy's asking, where do we sign up? Trudy, I have my, I'm going to give you my link. I've got it in the description of this video, and I've also have it pinned on Facebook, and I put it in the comment section on YouTube. So,
Pamela, yeah, if you can watch on a separate device, if you have the opportunity and have your desktop free, by all means try that way, because then you can actively be working alongside of us and watching us on a different screen. I know that's not possible for everybody, but if you can, that's awesome.
Sue's worried about getting sued. Sue, literally the very first step that Christine makes you do is log into the uspto.gov website and make sure that no one else has already trademarked the business name that you want to use. So that's literally day one, where we make sure that you're not going to get any legal trouble over the business name that you picked.
Okay. And then Belinda, a domain name is just southerncharmreads.com, belindasreads.com, whatever, that's what the domain name is.
This will be on your own website, and we'll be using a WordPress install. So you're not using either WordPress.com or WordPress.org. It's the WordPress like foundation.
Software.
Yeah.
It's like software.
Yeah.
That's the way I think of it. It's like the computer software that you use for it, and it's called WordPress. That's the way I look at it. All right, I don't see any other questions.
No. Pamela's
question. Let me look on my.
Should we watch on this? We already answered that one.
Do you need a desktop computer to do the course? I think we've already answered that. Yes, they recommend for sure that you need a desktop computer. It doesn't have to be anything fancy either. And I don't know if you can use a friend's desktop or laptop or a spouse's laptop. It is better to do website stuff on a computer. The course is how much was it again? $225. $225, which to me is a huge break for everyone who is trying to get started. Is really a huge saving of money and time, because you don't have to go do it and figure it out yourself. They're going to teach you how to do it. You just follow along.
Peggy asked, will you be using Elementor? What page builder? Good question, by the way. We'll be using what's called Cadence theme. The reason I built it on here and love it, it's the most lightweight theme out there. And when May 1st hits, Google, when it ranks your site, is going to take into account page experience. And part of that page experience is how quickly your site loads. Sites that are heavy visual builders like Elementor, Divi, Oxygen, they're all heavy because they're visual builders. There's a lot of code that's behind it. Cadence is a low code theme. So everything loads very, very quickly. So, and I've used very little plugins to make the theme so that it's as lightweight as possible. Roberta, we're going to go through that on the first day. Make sure that all of those things are available.
Okay.
Maria, we're going to be suggesting Big Scoots for hosting.
Is that the one you were answering?
No, but Mia, no, we're going to be working on using a self-hosted WordPress website. So our interface is going to look completely different.
We don't recommend Wix, is what we're saying.
Paulette says she doesn't have an email system. We actually have instructions on how to get a free system that you can connect to the WordPress website.
Okay. And we all talk about photos and the quality of photos they need when they get established.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peggy's asking if she already has her host. That's okay, I assume.
Yes, perfectly fine.
Yeah, we actually have, let's see.
I guess Lorianne's got the same question. You can use any host you already have.
Hey, Julie, can you put my screen for a second?
Yep.
So y'all, we actually have a whole workbook that's written up for the whole workshop. And at the end of that workbook that has all the step-by-step instructions, we have some guides. So we have a photo size guide that tells you what size you should use for social media, your pinnable images in your post, also for your hero or cover image. And then we also have the Canva template. So you'll be able to just click right here and it'll take you to a template in Canva to quickly get your photos done right for your website.
Okay.
So we tried to make that as easy as we could for y'all on sizes and pixels and all the things that you need to know on your website.
They know you guys are new and beginning, and so they really want to put everything in your terms where you can understand it. Teresa's asking about who do we recommend for a logo. They're going to show you how to create your own logo very, very easily and quickly.
So we won't be doing it actively in the class, but yes, the brand kits
will be available for them this weekend. Yep. So they can work through that whole training this weekend before class starts on Monday.
We've got 2 people who are using SiteGround. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine. We're going to walk through using Big Scoots, but I also have a SiteGround account. If there's any questions through the process, I can log into my SiteGround and kind of give you that, show you how to walk through there as well.
What if they can't understand, or is there a place for questions and answers?
Every day we'll be live. Each day we've nuggeted out for it to be about 30 to 40 minutes of actual like walkthrough. Even at that, like some days aren't going to be that long. There's going to be room for questions at the end, and whenever I need to share my screen or Damon needs to share a screen, we'll share it so that you can actually see how to do it yourself.
What if they know more than wreaths? Can they put all of it together on a website?
Yes.
There's been 3 people asking the same question in a different way. Somebody sells something else and wreaths, but they, sell multiple things.
Everything is customizable as far as the wording you put on there, the images you put on there, your logo, and we walk through all of that. So yes, it can be for any business.
Okay, y'all, if we missed your comments, we can come back and answer them. But again, we just wanted to introduce you guys. I'll only introduce things that I am a full believer on. So many people ask me to do things because I have a large audience, a dedicated following who trusts me. And believe me, I don't discount that for a minute. I really value that. And I only introduce things that I wholeheartedly believe in. And this is one of those things. I really believe it. This is an answer for a lot of people. And that's why I really thought it was important to bring it to you guys' attention. Thanks, Damon Oates of Deco Exchange, for coming on, and Christine Jerry, thanks for the virtual collab for coming on and explaining their new course. We'll post the links again for you guys to join, and if you have any questions, keep asking and we will answer, okay?
Thanks, Julie. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.